Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Cosmos Atom. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. And if you haven't seen the previous update, it's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. Also, there are two donation links down below in the description if you want to help out the kids in Yemen and in Gaza. Feel free to donate. Even a few dollars are going to make a change. Now let's jump into the TA. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see we have a Fibonacci retracement set up from the bottom in October 2023 all the way up to this local top from July 2023. Then we ended up moving to the upside in November and December, and we got to the 1.414 at $12.69. From there, we had a bit of a retracement, a higher low. As you can see, we retested the 786 at $9.21, and then we started another move to the upside, and we got to our technical target at $14.08. That was, of course, the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. Now we saw a capitulation because of the news from the Middle East, and obviously some altcoins are dropping more than others. For Cosmos Atom, this is a 50% drop. I would say 50% is on average for most altcoins from what I've seen so far, and Cosmos is no different. So in terms of the pullback, it's not doing terrible compared to other coins, but in terms of the overall picture, if you take a look at where we are right now and where we were back in September 2022, well, it is a different picture, much different, because some coins have already broken above the August 2022 high, and they're coming down to retest that as support. But with coins like Cosmos Atom, we are back down almost as low as we were back in August and October 2023, and as low as we were back in July 2022. So that's a negative note there to add, because we're not really doing any or making any progress. And of course that is going to change with time, but it's just that it's taking so long. This could possibly mean that we're not going to have, some of the targets met that we are targeting during the up and coming bull market euphoric stage. So that's something to understand is, we can't really expect $100, $200 when the bull market is almost halfway through, for example, and we haven't seen even the September 2022 high broken yet. That's going to be an unrealistic target unless we have some bullish news coming out regarding the project, a massive partnership. Then of course we can see an explosion to the upside. But if that doesn't happen, there's a chance that Cosmos Atom is going to be going up, breaking above the all-time high briefly, and then retracing back down. So we might not even break, let's say $70 or $80. So we'll have to keep an eye on Cosmos and what it's doing right now. Obviously, this is a very good buying opportunity if you don't have any Cosmos coins and you're looking to participate in the airdrops. We've already gotten a lot of airdrops. 3 of them were really good ones, like Celestia, Saga, and the other one was Dimension. All of those were $500 to $1,000 worth of airdrops. For me personally, of course, if you were staking more, you would have gotten more. And not only for Cosmos, there are other coins you can stake to get those airdrops, but with Cosmos specifically, right now is an incredible buying opportunity. As you can see, the RSI is in the oversold, just like it was back here in August 2023 and in almost in October 2023. So this is a really good buying opportunity. If you were looking to top up your bags as well, this is a good chance to do that. This is a good chance to bring down that average buying price. If, for example, you were buying during the previous bull market at $20, $27, then right now you want to buy more so that the average price goes down. So that when you're selling, your average price isn't going to be $20, it's going to be $18, maybe $17. So you're going to be counting your profits from $17 because that's essentially your entry point. But hopefully that's a clear picture on the daily chart. We're not losing any major support levels just yet. So we have $6.20. That's going to be a massive, massive support level for us to hold. If we lose that, then we have $5.50, and below that it's going to get really bearish if we drop down that low. So that should be it for the daily chart. If you take a look at the support blocks and support levels we gave you in the previous videos, it's pretty clear that they were met here. We can extend that as well. You can see that between between $7.95 down to $7.37. That was a really good buying opportunity for anyone. And if you got in, roughly you would have been up 10%, around 10%. So that's why it's important to set up buy limit orders in advance. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems, technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content. And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video. All right, so you can see we briefly broke above the trend lines here, the pink and yellow trend lines, but that was more of a fake out. We were not able to hold either of those as support. We broke down and we back tested the yellow as resistance again, and we capitulated. So we have one back test of resistance from September 2022, from February 2023, and here a bit of a fake out in February 2024. So what we need to do is we need to grab more fuel, refuel at this support level here at roughly $8.60. And then with the next move to the upside, we want to break above the yellow, the pink trend line, and the September 2022 high. And hopefully we can do that in one big move to the upside, then come back down as support, retest that level, and then continue forward. Because this over here is showing weakness. We did not print a higher low. We just ran into the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement at $13.42 here on the weekly. As you can see, that's where the candles closed, just below that actually. And now we lost the 20 and the 55 EMAs. And as you can see, we just printed, we had just printed the bullish cross on the weekly chart in March. And right now it looks like we're going to be printing the bearish cross again. And of course, the bearish cross is your bear market confirmation. We didn't technically have a bull market confirmation. This was just the beginning of that cross, and then we immediately, turned back down. But these crosses can happen pretty quickly. If we go back to 2020 on the Bitcoin chart, you can see we did have a bearish cross there after the COVID crash, and then we immediately had a bullish cross afterwards. So it's possible Cosmos is going to have the exact same thing playing out here, and this is kind of the COVID 2020 dump, you could say, because we're seeing a similar dump before the halving, and then you have the halving in May, and you go into the bull market. Hopefully that's what's happening here with Cosmos, and we're going to end up holding this green block, because this green block is very important, from $10.15 down to $8.50. It's a really important level for us to hold. If we can do that, then we're still printing this higher low, and then we can continue onwards. I really hope we're going to be able to hold 850. I hope we can close the candle within the realms of this green support block. Now the Fibonacci that we have set up is from the bottom in October 2023 to the all-time high from January 2022. And you can see our minimal target is going to be all the way up there at $73.86. I would say that's more or less not affordable, but reasonable price to expect if we're going to start performing well with the altcoin season. Once altcoin season comes around, if we don't break above $16 and we don't backtest it as support and then continue onwards, we might have to put, these higher prices under question. We might have to put $43 under question even. But we'll have to wait and see what the markets do. If that does happen, we'll move our targets lower and we'll go from there. But taking a look at the oscillators. So On the weekly chart, Cosmos is coming back down to the support block that we laid out a long time ago, and we have multiple retests of that area, as you can see, both as support and as resistance in some cases. And yeah, that should be it. And of course over here as support, and then over here as resistance. A lot of touches. This is a pretty important area for us. Now, one thing you can look at is the white trend line. And as you can see, we had one bounce over here in September 2021, then another bounce in February 2023. Then we broke above it in October, and right now we're coming back down to it as support. So back testing this white trend line as support and then moving from there is going to be really good for this chart specifically. So hopefully we don't break below the white trend line and we are able to hold it as support. In case we do break below it, there is also a trend line over here that you can take a look at roughly 37 on the index. That's going to be based on this support over here that we got in June 2023. We had a nice bounce from there. So take a look at that trend line, see if we come back down below the white one. That's going to be your next level. But of course, the lower you go, the more coins you want to be buying naturally, because the prices are cheaper, you want to buy more. But again, be careful. I'm not saying this thing is not going to break above its all-time high. As of right now, I do think it will do that. But in 3 months, by the end of the summer, if Cosmos is still below $16.83, that is going to be a big indicator that things are not going to be looking great for Cosmos in this bull market. The stochastic is in the oversold. So that's another indicator telling us that it's good to buy at the moment. We got the bearish cross on the MACD. The last time we had that was back in April 2023. Let's take a look at the price action chart there. Where's the cursor? There we go. So there we go, April 17th. And then after that, we continued dumping after that bearish cross. So that was in April, and then April 13th, which was over here. And then we dropped back down to approximately $6.60. We're just printing the bearish cross here on the MACD. So who knows, we might have more downside. We might have to come back down and retest this green block, the lower one, between $6.50 down to $5.50. And then we take a look at the volume. It's not doing too great. Like, this is nowhere compared to the bull market volume from the 2020 to 2021 period. But that should be it for Cosmos, Adam. Hopefully that's a nice breakdown for you. Let me know what are your targets. Let me know what are your expectations from the coin during this bull market. Stay safe and take care.